Good morning, YouTube. My name is Aaron Buster, and I'm going to be starting a channel about serial entrepreneurship. Right now, our first venture is starting a pallet company, and we're doing all of this in the San Antonio area. For today's load, we have a whole bunch of scrap metal. We pick up this scrap metal from where we pick up the pallets. Many times they have some extra metal, and whenever our trailer isn't full, we throw it on, take it up to our central storage location / ranch, and we keep it there until we get a full trailer load. And right now I have a 24-foot trailer that feels really heavy behind the truck, full of scrap metal. So we are on the way to get that dropped off before heading to a city far away to go pick up more pallets. So the rig that I'm driving is a Ram 3500 from 2011. If we had gotten the pickup version, we would not have DEF, but because we got a cab and chassis version, we do have DEF. So we have one of the first generation SCR systems. Yay. So far it serves us well. And earlier this year in January, I got a good deal on a 24-foot gooseneck made by PJ Trailers, manufactured in 1995. Quite a long time ago, but fortunately I'm at least older than my equipment is. So we've had to put some work into the trailer, almost all of it exclusively relating to the axles and rolling stuff. Had a spring break on us. I've repacked all the bearings. We have 5 brand new tires, and we're about to have 5 brand new rims also. The rims that are on the trailer have a stamping on them for their weight limit, and that's about 3,000 pounds. And the axles are rated for 7,000 pounds, so 3,500 each. And we regularly take the axles up to take both axles up to 13,000, so right at their max, which is technically over what each wheel is rated for. And we have had one problem. We had one wheel crack at a weld, had a weld job done on it, and that weld cracked. So we threw that wheel away and bought another one that's rated for 4,000, and I'll be going back and grabbing the rest of the set from them so that I know that my wheels are properly rated and won't crack on me, because that kind of downtime is very expensive. There's something to be said about saving $1, but if you lose $100 in the process, you didn't save $1. You lost 99. So, and right now we are in a thorough amount of traffic. Fortunately, this traffic will delay me such that the recycling center should be open by the time I get there instead of them being closed. Got to stretch this traffic out in 5 minutes for about 3 blocks. So what got me and Lance started in the pallet business? So last February of 2021, I was getting into buying and selling silver coins. It's the first time I'd ever really held a pure silver coin, and I was buying them in the low 30s at that time, and I was able to sell them online for mid to high 30s, so making 10-20% per coin. But I was just doing that with a hobby amount of money. So I kind of like that idea of doing entrepreneurship. And I've also had other ideas of trying to make money, but never had enough follow through to complete it. So I approached my good friend Lance, whom you will meet eventually, because we are fully in business together. He's the other half. He does all the operations. I do most of the finances and driving. So I proposed that we start an online gold and silver resale shop. And while I was mulling that over, he was also getting other ideas, and came across John Wilker and The Simplest Biz. So that sounded like a better idea because it requires far less capital than gold and silver business does. And I don't think this traffic is going to go fast enough. I have less than a block and 3 minutes left. Yay, the stoplight for the win. So we liked the pallet business because it was far less capital intensive to start. You don't need to go out and get tens, hundreds, millions of dollars to buy in silver and then have 1 to 3% margins. We can do pallet business and have a 75% margin on cost of goods sold, and then use that money to pay for the truck and shipping and insurances and land and all that other good stuff. So we decided to do that. So we got the business started in April, but we got the LLC formed in April. And started working the business. Things started going decently well, and I think I'm going to have to cut off the story and continue it later, because I am now at the recycling center 1 minute early, and they almost have the gate open. Okay, so that was the trip to the scrapyard. We had 3,000 pounds of metal on the trailer and some small specialty items on the bed of the truck, and that was just under $300. When I was driving, I thought we had like 3 tons on the truck, but that just proved that humans are bad estimators. So, always optimistic or pessimistic, whichever bias you have, you end up overestimating in that direction. So now we're on to our pickup in Beeville, Texas. We're in San Antonio. It's a 2-hour drive. I'm supposed to be there 1 minute ago, so 2 hours behind schedule, and that was basically expected. So now I need to call them, let them know that I'm going to be doing an afternoon load and not a morning load. So now we get to sit behind the wheel and do the Windshield University. You can do that with audiobooks, YouTube, a whole bunch of things. One of the books, the last book I was listening to was Negotiating. That was the subtitle. The main title was never split the difference. Negotiating as if your life depends on it. And the author of the book was an FBI agent, and he goes through his career and at the FBI and the techniques that they started out with, and some of the other techniques that they developed and their effectiveness. It's basically an intro to negotiation class, just written into text, or written in book form. It could almost be a textbook to a negotiation class. Every chapter starts out with what the technique is, an example, how to do it, and then he goes through the example again, showing you exactly how the technique was applied. It is extremely good at teaching. I always need to listen to that book again with pen and paper in hand so I can take notes and better commit it to memory. Oh, would you look at that? I'm now stuck over here and I do not get my exit I was hoping for. Oh well. Flip you all around. Okay. There's the bed. And we'll go through here. My little ratchet strap winder. Little handle, strap in there, winds, mounts to the rub rails on a truck or trailer. I'm on day 2 of that. Okay, we got some trash back there, that always stays there. We got this, Okay. Oh, camera focusing. I don't think it is. So. Let's see. How do I want to get out of here? Let's do it this way. So, on this channel, we could do how-to videos, and there might be some how-to videos, but for the most part, it's going to be a whole bunch of following Lance and myself around and what it takes to run the pallet business. And as we do the pallet business, we'll also be expanding into recycling all of our waste. Woo! Parking brake is not strong. Expanding into other businesses to deal with our waste. So with the pallet business, you're going to have a whole bunch of wood waste, and our ultimate goal for that is to crush it up into sawdust and send it through a pellet mill to generate heating pellets. Once you have that facility, you can also go out and buy mesquite, oak, cherry, hickory, and do grilling pellets, and those are taking off in popularity. So in Texas, there's 5 pellet mills, and that's definitely not enough for the state of Texas. So, and there's none near San Antonio, so we would be the first pellet mill out here. In the past, I've contacted CPS, and they've wanted to do a biomass reactor, and pellets are a great fuel for that, but they don't have a steady supply, so we may be able to have the local energy company be a massive buyer of our stuff. Heating pellets, we can try to sell those locally, maybe ship them up to Oklahoma, Amarillo, but they'll probably end up going to Houston, getting on a container ship, going to Europe, and stuff like that. So, anyway, we'll continue this at a later time. Oh, well, that was fun.